if they're going to make you, hundreds of thousands over the life of the site. And that's all we're saying here. So we're going to look at get.al. And remember, we showed you how to search and find out where a domain extension originated at. And we're not really sure where AL originated at. However, we know this was negotiated, and we say 10 bids. So the highest bid was 2,500, and it sold for 6,000. So all we're saying is you can get a general idea of definitely how to bid. One thing we kind of were hard on those people with the other site we looked at because they dropped off at 4,500. However, if that was their investment tolerance point, that's what it was. Maybe that's all the money they had. We don't know what the deal is with that, but that's where they were with it. So we're going to look at also this website. Now, when we go down, what we will notice is that $2,000 was paid for a site earning $484, which is about 5 times revenue, something like that. So this actually was, initially anyway, was a great deal. And for liability purposes, we said that throughout this. For us here at WordPress SEO Academy, this would be a great place to start. Now, when we first started the process, these are the revenues that we were looking at, and we put our bid tolerance for a site like this at $3,000. But this is certainly something we would look at. So if you want to start big, do that. But as the disclaimer on these video tutorials say, seek legal and accounting advice when it comes to matters of purchasing a business. However, these websites itself for a few $1,000s are a great place to start if they have revenue. And actually, the next video tutorial we're going to get into, there are really cheap sites for like $197. They don't have revenue or anything like that, but they may add something to our business here, and we're going to talk to you about that in the next video tutorial. So just make sure you go through the listings, save the pages that interest you. When on a web to PDF convert, and we showed you how to do that. Web to the number 2 pdfconvert.com is the best. We don't know why that script popped up. It never has before. However, what you will notice is that it produces a beautiful document, and you can save it, and it's going to be a great thing. So this is one site that we certainly wanted to look into too. This site listed 2 or 3 times, and there could be a host of reasons for that. However, what we know is that this site didn't sell once, and I think the other time somebody didn't have the money, or they just weren't serious about buying the site. But check this out. It sold at auction for $33,000. There was only 2 bidders. 2 big money bidders. So this person got beat out by $100, whatever. But at the end of the day, the gross revenues, if it could be proved, are $5,033 and then $4,700. This simply means and people spend this kind of money, believe me, they're doing their due diligence. However, basically what that means is 6 months or 7 or 8 months, this investment will be paid back. Now, us here at WordPress SEO Academy, again, for a site like this, and when it's just an open bid, it's hard to know. It's hard to know what somebody. It was impossible to know what somebody else is going to bid. But what we do know is that you can check just sold sites and kind of see what the bid ranges are. What if people are going up $100 or they're going up $50 over a person, and a lot of times this will tell you bid certain X amount of dollars or more. However, if these revenues could be proved at all. If these revenues could be proved at all, we would have paid upwards of $45,000 for the site personally, and that would have been our bid tolerance. And the great news is that that kind of money obviously didn't need to be spent. So all we're saying is, when you're preparing, make sure when you are preparing to bid, folks, make sure that you have an escrow service signed up, depending on the size of the sale of the site. Now, for a site that's what we say, 2,000 under, we're not probably going to use, and if it has a little bit of revenue, if it has a little bit of revenue, we're probably not going to use an escrow service. However, if it's, big money sites, 2,500 or more with revenue going on, and we've done our due diligence, we're going to use somebody like escrow.com. Just make sure you have the funds available when you start bidding on this site, because actually, if you're not serious, you're going to be reported, and then again, you will be there will be severe penalties. And we wanted to, the last thing that we certainly wanted to look at was, and we'll go to 5, and we'll see if there are any really huge sites that sold. But before we get there, we just wanted to tell you that when it comes down to understanding the bid process, it's about understanding not so much, well, first you have to understand how much capital you have to invest. However, one thing that you don't want to do is get caught up in a bidding war that's going to have you overcommitted to a site. And we'll use that penny auction site, sold for 33,100, and let's just say you set aside 35,000 for to buy the site, for the transition of the site, for just miscellaneous expenses, and even an initial investment, maybe in AdWords or paid search campaigns. So you said, hey, 35,000 is my tolerance. You want to have a tolerance number, and that encompasses the whole bid. What we mean by that is 33,000. Let's just say you say, hey, I'm not going to bid any more than $33,100. Boom, a bidding war happens. You get excited. The person you're competing with gets excited. The max capital that you can invest, or you have to invest in this total deal, is $35,000, and that number runs up near $35,000. All of a sudden, there's $1,900, which is the difference between 32,100 and 35,000, or something. Yeah, something like that. All of a sudden, you've spent all your money to get the site. Now you don't have the capital to do paid search, to do maybe upgrades on the site, or whatever it is you want to do. So know your bid tolerance and take the big picture into view. Understand that there are other costs associated with inheriting a site. Hosting, that's cheap, but you might want to, again, run paid search. You might want to pay a SEO company to do some work on the site. You might just want to tweak this and that on the site, and it may cost you money. So don't spend all your money on a website if you need it for other things after, and we assure you it will. Stay with us, folks, because what we're going to do next is we are going to start showing you the process that we here at WordPress SEO Academy use when looking for opportunities. And what may surprise you is that those opportunities aren't always revenue earning sites. Stay with us.